Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Twin Flame Divine Masculines. Or if you don't resonate with that label, but you feel that you are Twin Flame, it could just be for you if there's some sort of action that you're needing to take, perhaps, or some sort of change that you are being asked to do, perhaps, in your life, or could it also be having to anything that's related to a masculine energy in your life that you may need to take a look at. So the overall context of your reading today, you have here February. You have this loss and manipulation card, and then you have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like there's somebody here. There's somebody here who's coming through the Knight of Wands. I tried to do your reading earlier in the day, but something came up. I was being asked to wait. So here it is again. The Knight of Wands came out in the original reading that I was going to do. And it was coming through with this message of like an imbalance, right? There's somebody here who's coming in. I feel like you know who this is already, the Knight of Wands, where they're kind of in and out. They're non-committal is kind of what's coming through. And there is an imbalance of power was what was coming through the first, like the original reading. An imbalance of power. And I feel like whoever this is, or whatever this is, it could be a situation as well. It doesn't have to be a person, but for some of you, maybe. It's kind of like because of this imbalance, I feel that perhaps you have put up a wall or a boundary of some sort. And it's like they're feeling the loss of that is what's coming through here. They are feeling the loss of this boundary that you have put up, because it's coming in with loss and manipulation, which I feel like this deck has such interesting energy, which I don't normally like to talk about. But anyway, so I feel like that what they're trying now is manipulation tactics, because they're experiencing the loss of your energy, right? You're no longer contributing to something. You're no longer investing in a certain relationship, and they're feeling the loss of that. And so they may be engaging in manipulation tactics to try and get you back is kind of what's coming through here. So again, it doesn't have to be a person. It could be like a job that you've left, or family members that you've had to like cut off for whatever reason, or something like that. Just fit that into your life to however it resonates for you. So this February card is coming through as kind of like the wind is coming to sort of clear out whatever this energy is, because it feels like it's so temporarily. There may be sort of like discomfort about the situation, because the first two cards that are coming out here are the Wall, misunderstanding, and Clouds, a temporary problem. So this February card is kind of coming in with the wind as being like an energy that is going to remove this temporary problem, right? But in the meantime, it's kind of like there's a bit of discomfort because the wind that's coming in is a bit cold, is what's coming through here. It's like there's just like the weather today outside where I am right now. It's like the weather's miserable, but it's kind of like it's bringing in something that's going to remove this temporary problem, whatever that is for you. Because what's coming through here for their energy is this. You have the excitement, you have lust and drama, which is what I feel like this, because this is feeling like what's on the other side of the wall, that whoever is on the other side of this wall that you've put up is trying to stir up some lust and drama, perhaps, in order to get you to come back, right? To like put the wall down. and it may be very like over the top in some way, and it's kind of like, in the meantime, I'm just gonna leave that there. I feel like that will be quite obvious to you what it is that they're trying to do, to try and get you to come back and reinvest in this dynamic. But what it's saying here, you have here the bull. Do not back down from oppositions. Show strength and fortitude. Because it's kind of like whatever it is that they want from you is like, it's like almost like they're promising you something, especially with manipulation tactics, right? They're promising you something that you perhaps need, or perhaps that you've asked them in the past. It's like, if you come back, I will give you this thing that you need, is what this is coming through as. And it's kind of like, that's just drama. Don't back down from that, because it's coming out here with these cards for you. 4 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Swords, I feel like is you kind of just like removing yourself from a situation. I often see this card as being sort of a relaxation, or like just finding peace and quiet from whatever that drama situation is. But it's kind of, because it's the 4 of Swords, it also talks to me about like integrating truth after difficult hardship, for example, right? It's like you learned some sort of lesson about whatever this past situation is. And I saw this morning, another tarot reader, her channel name is Queen Amun-Ra. Anyway, she posted something about this energy. It's like an apology without change in behavior is just manipulation, right? So if they're trying to apologize, but there's been no actual change in their behavior or how they're approaching you or whatever it is, then they're just trying to get you back, right? It's a manipulation tactic. Anyways, so 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles, because I feel like whatever this situation is, I feel like you also lost in this situation, right? It's kind of like, in any sort of breakdown of a relationship, both sides end up losing something, right? So that's what this is coming through with. But for you, I feel like for you, it's actually kind of like something that you are okay with losing, is what this is coming through with, right? Like the wind is going to be cold, but it is temporary, is what this is coming through with. And it's saying too, with the bull card here, it's coming out with the desk, focus or pay attention to your work, right? Like focus on what it is that you've been working on, whether or not it is, whatever it is that you've been working on, focus on that, because it's kind of like, and almost like pay no mind to whatever it is that is, trying to call you back here, because it's like, well, pay little mind, because I feel like what's coming through with these cards coming out next. So you have here the Death card, which I often see as being sort of like this doorway that's closing or opening, depending on the situation. Excuse me. Last time I used this deck, it was coming through with the Chariot, side by side, the Chariot and the Death card side by side, where it was like there was somebody being represented by this Death card who actually was quite afraid of change, is what's coming through here. They're afraid of change. Somebody here is afraid of change. I feel like it might be this energy of the loss, right? It's like the dynamic has shifted now, and so they're in an energy of loss. I feel like perhaps you are as well, right? But it's like the loss that they're experiencing is causing them to enter into a manipulation tactics rather than accepting the loss, right? And so what is coming through here with the Death card is the submission, is that they could be saying things like, if you come back, I will give you the thing that you wanted when you were here. When like, I'll fix the relationship, I'll whatever, right? But it's coming through with submission, meaning it kind of feels like they just want you back in a cage, is what this is feeling like to me. I know that's so extreme, but it's coming through with some... Okay, I've been watching this show called Foundation. It's on Apple TV if you're interested. And in season 2, there's this storyline of an isolated community that is composed of like people who with extraordinary abilities, right? So there's like telepaths. They call themselves mentalics, right? They use their mind in ways that are beyond what is humanly capable. Anyways, but there's this one character, the leader of that group, had such a fear of death that she found ways to avoid the natural endings that were present in her life by like can't find the word, by taking her consciousness and like placing it in other people's bodies, right? So she would take over. It's like body snatching, that kind of thing, right? Like she would supplant her consciousness into somebody else's body so that she could continue her legacy in life and without having to die ever, which is totally unnatural and very anyways, so it's feeling so that storyline, what happened in that storyline is that the main character, like obviously because I'm getting lost here, hold on. And that's what this energy is. It's like, it feels like whenever you enter into that space, there's confusion, right? Because basically that's where it was. That's where it wasn't wanting to go, is that the leader of this commune, let's call it, was imposing her will onto the individuals of her community, right? So she would force them into submission using like her abilities in order to prevent any sort of change from happening. If there was any sort of threat to the community, she would lock that down with a submissive kind of like getting everybody to fall in line kind of energy. And if there's anybody who resists that or who tries to challenge her authority, it's like she gets rid of them, is what's coming through here. And I know that's so extreme, but that's the example that's coming through to explain this. So the next couple cards here, because you have this influence card, right? Which is what this is talking about. It's like this energy, whatever it is. So it's somebody with authority is what's coming through here. So it could be boss, could be just like whatever. They have some sort of imbalance of power is what's coming through here. Imbalance of power or an authority of some sort, and using that to negatively influence a situation to try and get it to go into their direction. And it's kind of like so they may be actually sending you a message here with the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. Lots of swords, right? This is the submission energy where it's kind of like they're trying to get you back into a cage that you have just broken free of, is what this is feeling like to me. Where it's like you've left the situation, you've put up a wall, you're moving forward, but what they want from you is this Eight of Swords. They want submission from you, which is not happening. So, what the reading is trying to get you to focus on is this. So pay attention to your work, it says, and then it says teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So connecting with a friend, right, who just brings you warmth, maybe that might be helpful. Because especially with like cold weather, right? It's like, how do you get through weather that's cold? You put on a blanket, you make yourself a cup of tea, that kind of thing. Something that's going to keep you warm while whatever it is that this temporary problem is going to pass. Because it kind of feels like, to me, having the wall up is enough. It's kind of like this problem is going to be cleared for you, but it's kind of like, in the meantime, you just have to deal with like the manipulation tactics that might be reaching you in some way. And then one last thing to note here, you have here the dolphin and the purse. So the dolphin says financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. And then the purse says pay attention to your finances, right? So if this was like a job situation, right, and there was like, for instance, a boss who was not paying, there was an imbalance of power in some way, where they were perhaps abusing their power or withholding resources from you, and that might have been the reason why you left the situation. It's like all of that work that you did in the past will be compensated, is what's coming through here. Pay attention to your finances, because I feel like even if it doesn't come from this person or this job or whatever it was, even if it doesn't come from that source, it's going to come in other ways, is what's coming through. It's like you've already done all the work, all of the resources and like whatever was imbalanced here in terms of like the power or the energy flow or financial resources or whatever that is, all of that's going to be returned to you. So pay attention to that, because I feel like it might not be coming from necessarily that source, right? It might not be like your last job is paying you back. It may be coming from a different source or a different stream in some way. But that to pay attention to that, because there's something significant about what that source or it's another word for that, where that income stream is coming from. There's something significant about that that is rectifying the situation from this past event. Okay. And it's also coming in here with the 6 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands to me always talks about having firm boundaries with people. But this one also comes through with the message of perseverance. Like, keep going forward. Don't look back at whatever the situation is, because whatever it is that they're trying to promise you or something, it's just to get you back in this cage that you were in. Right? That's what it is that they're trying to manipulate you into doing, is to go back into the cage when it's like you're clearly moving on with the 6 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. Like, keep going, don't give up, keep persevering, because there is something really positive coming to you, perhaps from a different stream of income is what's coming through here. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it will be more clear as you move forward. So I'm going to end the reading there. If you're interested in a personal reading, check the description box. You'll find my website. If this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, or leave a comment. It helps so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.